Hello, it's Keely again. So, today's building video is happening in the world that comes with Get Famous. So, we are heading to Del Sol Valley, and I wanted to make a photo studio. So, if you watched my first episode of my Let's Play for Growing Together, you may have noticed that we stopped by this building, and it may seem vaguely familiar. And that is because I built this photo studio a while back, and I thought that I would have it posted already by the time I uploaded my first episode of the Let's Play, but that did not happen. So we are going back now, and if you want to check out that video, I will go ahead and add a little link up above so you can go ahead and pop on over to that first Let's Play video if you'd like to watch me take my Sims there and get some adorable little family photos. So, anyways, this build I wanted to include a photo studio with a lot of different backgrounds, kind of like a photo booth, but on a bigger scale. So, if you live in the United States, I don't know if this was also in Canada or Mexico, but at least in the northern-esque area kind of the United States, there used to be this company called the Picture People. So essentially, you would go to the Picture People and they just had a bunch of backdrops, kind of like this green screen. They would have like a green screen or a backdrop, and they could pull down a bunch of backdrops, and they had a lot of props, and you could come in and you could schedule an appointment to take pictures. And my mom would take me there all the time as a kid. So, we did the whole shebang, before school. Every year when it was my birthday, we went to the Picture People to get a picture. For summer pictures or for Father's Day or Mother's Day or Halloween or Valentine's Day. They had one of those like candy heart props with like XO, on it and a little heart. And, my mom dressed me up in some like little red and pink outfit. Anyways, that's what we're going for. So this is the Picture People. So the idea was to make this for my Sims because I used to take a lot of pictures of my Sims in my normal game, and for the Let's Play that I want to start, which I've now started, I wanted to have some way to kind of like chronicle their progress. But it gets kind of boring to take pictures in the same place, and sometimes if you try to take pictures at events, I'm not the best at getting screenshots or pictures with my Sims. So I wanted to have somewhere that I could take them to that was in a controlled environment and, give them different backdrops or different backgrounds that I've modified to make it easier to take pictures um, without a kind of like time limit, so to say. So yeah, so that was the goal of this build. So here we are, including the bathroom on the first floor, and I included this sized down version of the screen from Get Famous. So you can actually change once you're in the live mode, whatever you want to call it. Once you're in live mode, you can actually select the green screen, and there's like 5 or 6 different options that you can pick from. So if you wanted, you could also place chairs in front of the green screen, or you could just have your Sims stand in front of it. Probably be harder to get them all to stand there at the same time and take a photo, but I didn't want to add any chairs because the rest of the backdrops in this were on different chairs. So that is the goal for that. So not only do you have the photo studio with little backdrops that you can see right there from Get to Work, but I also include that from Get Famous to give more background. So then when you take pictures, they don't always have to be in the same area or with a gross kind of background. That way they're well lit, they have a fun background, and you can clearly tell what's going on. But yeah, so I wanted to do some fun bright colors. So the outside I used that kind of like peachy tangerine color from those windows. Plus I wanted to do a curve aspect. I haven't really used curved walls a lot in The Sims, although they've been included. So I want to kind of dabble into that a little bit with this build. And High School Years was really the only pack that has like a particular pack that has matching windows that also have curves to them that aren't just base game and that have a lot of fun colors. So that's why we went with this. I really wasn't sure what to do with the outside. I was kind of hoping they had one of those in like a photo scheme type of thing, or I was hoping there was like an ad with people taking pictures or something like that, but there wasn't. So I wasn't sure exactly. So I ended up finding these, and I like never use these. So I ended up using these as like little um, decor items on the roof and the front, and I thought about using this, but I didn't really like how that looked. I mean, like, it looked okay, but it wasn't necessarily my favorite. So, yeah, you'll see that that doesn't stay there. And I also wanted to add a platform or something to the roof because I didn't want to do any kind of, like, roofing details, but I want kind of like a flat roof. But if I didn't add a platform, then the top of that would show through, which I didn't particularly want. So I thought, okay, well, I could put the name of the place up there and then use these little things as like a detail, which then I was like, oh, but now I can't see the name of it. So I was like, all right, let's just raise it up. We'll just raise it up so then it's flush with these detail pieces, and then you can actually see. So those also had that kind of orangey tangerine color that matched. So I'm adding in some clothing racks. I want to include these clothing racks to pretend like as in like a photo booth. You can come up, you can put on clothes, you can look at yourself in the mirror. Oh, I like that. Oh, I don't like that. With different details and things like that. As per all my other videos, see if you can find when I add the llama in. Pretty sure I add that in. Hint, hint. But yeah, that's a fun game to play if you've never watched my videos or this is the first time you're stopping by. If so, hello, my name's Keely. I know it's kind of late for an introduction. We're already 6 minutes in. Heck, I haven't even told you the joke of the day. All right, well, the joke of the day is what is a hamster's favorite game show? I don't think I've done this one before, but maybe I have. I'm running out of jokes, guys. I'm running out of jokes. So anyways, here we are putting in some more little seats and clothing racks. So I have 2 of these photo studios, 1 on each floor. And then the rest of the build is going to be themed areas that your Sims can either sit in and then they can take pictures in. So the first one that we're going to end up doing is over here in the corner, if I can ever decide on that. So I want to do a fancy one. So that's why I included this really fancy gold like wallpaper type of deal. So I wanted a really fancy area for your Sims to take pictures in. Maybe they're a celebrity, maybe they just want fancy family photos. So I added in a bunch of these details and chairs from Get Famous to have a very fancy photo space. So in here I added more photo details and looked around for a couple more things to include. Yeah, so I ended up going with that. Adding some more photo lighting. So very fancy, as you can tell. Then the next thing I wanted to do, I looked through all the Get Famous stuff to see if there were any other details that I wanted to include. So then the next thing I wanted to do was a family photo area. So I wanted somewhere that you could get like, you know, it looks like it's in someone's house. A nice little couch and a family photo with some things on the wall to kind of make you feel homey. Like it's at the picture people, like it's genuine, not super fancy. So that's where I went with this part of that. And then I realized I also wanted to do a prom background. Well, if I get to it. I ended up sizing up that camera because I thought that would at least show you what it actually looks like. So I liked that detail element better. So I thought we were going to go to the prom room next, but apparently we're doing work on the outside. I'm very scattered when deciding on what I'm going to work on when I build sometimes. So I ended up including a regular photo booth outside too. So you could get a photo at the photo booth in case you wanted it. So I wanted to do the prom thing back there in the corner, but it didn't fit. So that's why I moved the family photo area over there and flipped that around a little bit. And then we're going to have the prom pictures up here. In my regular save file that I've been playing since like 2016 or 2017 in The Sims, I just recently took one of my teen Sims, who's absolutely adorable, by the way. I would post her on the gallery because she's super cute, but I use some CC, and I know that won't reach a lot of people, and a lot of people won't download it because they think it's going to, you know, largely impact the Sim, although it really doesn't. It's just CC eyelashes and CC eyes. Everything else is base game, or not base game, but like things you can purchase for the game. But yeah, so I just used this little prom area recently, and I'll probably have her go back and take some more pictures there because I had it with another Sim. So I added all these photo frames. So the idea is if you place this in your own game, this is something that I started doing is every time you go and you take a picture, take a couple extra pictures. I normally always take the 5 that you can get with each pose or whatever and leave one. So every time you take a picture, leave one on the wall. Then when you come back, not only, let's just say something happens, you actually lose one of the photos. That happened to me in my game recently. I lost one of the photos I really wanted, and it was with a Sim who had already died. It was like the one Sim, the teen Sim I'm talking about, her grandma died. So I can't just go back and get a photo with her because the grandma's not alive anymore. But luckily I had an extra copy of the photos here at the photo studio, so I was able to go back and get that picture to bring back to my Sim's house. So not only is it like a measure of your progress to see how things have changed, but it's also like advertisements, you know, like, oh, these are all the pictures we've taken, you know what I mean? It brings liveliness to the space. So I recommend doing that if you were to download this. That's why I included those big picture frames. Right now, the space we're working on is the kid and toddler slash infant um, little play zone. So I imagine you could bring your toddler or infant here or child and have them sit in there, have them playing, and it would be a great picture to take of them um, in a cute little environment that may not just be your house. So that's why I included that. So that's the second. Oh no, we already had the fancy one. We had this is what, the fourth one? Yeah. Okay, so this is the Kids Zone Picture Center. If the carpet glitches or anything like that, and when you download it for some reason it gets a little funky in that corner space, just reattach it and just plop down that carpet again, or another carpet if you don't have pastel pop. But yeah, so I added some more of these photo frames on the first floor too to give lots of opportunities for all the different Sims that will stop by and, like leave a picture, leave your mark at the photo studio. So the next photo theme we're going to be inputting, as you can see, I just put the cat litter box in there, is a pet theme. So the idea is if you have a cat or a dog, you could try to bring them here and hopefully they will likely go to the cat tower or the little pet beds or the little food station, and then you could take a picture of them for Simstagram photos or for whatever you wanted. Then you can leave pictures of your pet. So I did it kind of like cats and dogs themed with the flooring. So yeah, so the second space on the first floor that was themed, I did cats and dogs themed. So you can bring your pet for pet photos, which I think is super cute. So here we are just adding some decals on the walls related to photography and fashion and style and things like that. I don't have the Moschino stuff pack. If you do have the Moschino stuff pack, that would probably lend itself really nicely to this and you'd be able to update some more things in here. I do not have that pack though, so you could always probably take out one of the get to work uh, little photo studio things and put in whatever came with Moschino stuff to finish it off and give more opportunities. So I even put the chair in there too if you want to do it pet themed or country themed, but you didn't necessarily bring your pet, or maybe you and your pet. But yeah, so we're finishing out the first floor, and the second floor is almost done too. So now we got to work on the outside since I left that for last apparently. But we are not done with the photo zones. I have some more tricks up my sleeve, and I recently used, which one did I use? I'm trying to remember. I think it was just the ones inside, but we're going to add some more details. All right, so there's the outside. I couldn't decide on what color I wanted the outside to be. I didn't end up going with any of these colors. I think I ended up going with that one. No, maybe not. There we go. I think that's what I ended up going with. Yeah, I ended up going with those brown colors. All right, so here we go. So I added some details and tried to match that brick on the top there with the foundation. There we go. I feel like that matches better. I thought that would be a cute front, but it just didn't really work with the curved walls, and I didn't want to take the curved walls away. I wanted to include some lighting or something to kind of spice it up, and I wanted it in a red color to match the little awning there. And as you can see, I put out that little phone booth out there, and that's going to be the start of our outdoor photo areas. So not only are there areas inside for your Sims to take photos and leave photos behind, but there's also going to be spaces outside, lots of spaces actually. So I plan to use this building a lot in my Let's Play and in my personal game to get fun photos of my Sims. So I checked the outside to make sure it's still lit up the way that I wanted. Putting in lots of red details. Before we get started on our outdoor photo areas. Okay, so now that we're started on our outside photo areas, this one over here, I want it to be like Discover University, like British, like old school building themed. So that's what the outside of this side of the wall is themed as. So I wanted to kind of decorate it as if you were outside on the side of one of these buildings, you know. So that's what I went with this one. So I imagine you could pretend your Sims went on vacation, or maybe they did go and you could take photos while you're there, but then you could also come back and take photos. Um, so yeah, so adding in a little park bench. And there's our photo booth. So that's how I integrated the photo booth into this, um, was by making it a part of this like themed area outside. So some finishing touches on our themed area out there, and then I moved on to our next themed area. So the next one I wanted to do was a Christmas or at least winter themed, and then I wanted to do ones for every season. So not only is there the like Brightchester themed one, but there's one for every season. So I imagine you could bring your Sims here and get a picture for every season. You know, like, oh, summer photos, or like as they age up, you could come and get photos of them like in the pool, the little mini pool there, or on the towel, or you could get them for like holiday photos for whichever holiday. You can always switch it around to make it for whatever holiday that your Sims celebrate or you celebrate. So that's why I included that there. So I'm kind of laying down all of my different options that I want to use for this before deciding on what I wanted to use. So as per usual, this build will go live once this video is uploaded to YouTube, and you'll be able to find it on the gallery. Obviously, if you watched my Let's Play already, you got a sneak peek that this was going to be uploaded, and I talked about how it had already been uploaded because I thought it already would have been. So, surprise for you, you already know it's coming if you watched that. You can look for that video if you'd like to watch it, and hopefully you enjoy making some fun little areas. I included some sand, as you can see, for the beach themed photos, and then we're gonna have a spooky and autumn themed area over here by one of those trees. So as we get to the end, let's go back to our joke of the day. So what is a hamster's favorite game show? The answer is Wheel of Fortune. So over here we're doing our wedding themed area, so I want it to be very fancy and very plant like, and it even has the arch, so technically you could get married here if you wanted to. But yeah, so I wanted to add some arches and things like that and have it very, very cute and very fancy. So, you know, I imagine you could get like engagement photos or wedding photos. You could bring your Sims here to get engaged, or have them actually have the wedding here, I guess, if you wanted, and add some more chairs because the arch does work. But yeah, so that was the goal with that. So here we're adding in all of our little fancy details to make our wedding areas. So there are tons of different backdrops, tons of different ideas that you could bring here. And then once you download it for yourself, you could add your own areas. Maybe there's a particular thing that you want to add. Maybe you want to do like school photos and do it that way. However you want. The possibilities are endless, and there's still some space outside to do that. Or you could delete one of my areas and put in your own. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next part. And hopefully you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.